Thanks to Factor for sponsoring this video. Is the iPhone 14 gonna be boring? Will this be one of Apple's most disappointing events ever? Actually, while there's a whole lot we know about the iPhone 14 lineup, there's still plenty we don't know, and Apple might actually have some last-minute secrets sort of hidden up their sleeves to totally throw a curveball in all the rumors and completely change everything. So as we always do here on the Apple Circle, let's break down the latest Apple leaks, news, and rumors that you need to know about, including the top 10 secret iPhone 14 features that Apple might sort of change up last minute that'll totally make this one of the best iPhone upgrades ever, or confirm it is not at all worth your hard-earned time, or more importantly, your money. With the September event happening on September 7th, we are now very close to this event, actually. We are much less than a month away from finally seeing Tim Cook glide across that stage and show off the next revolution or evolution of the iPhone lineup. The iPhone 14 is set to change everything, at least according to Apple, but if you believe the rumors, that might not actually be the case, and I, for one, I'm sure many of you guys, have lots and lots of last-minute questions. And really, the story of the iPhone 14 has really changed a whole lot over the last 12 plus months, because those original rumors turned out to be, well, not actually happening this year. Remember that iPhone 4 style redesign that was gonna happen? Yeah, we're not gonna get that, but probably something that looks a lot more like this. We're not exactly gonna get a little single hole punch notch, but instead a new notch system. We're not dropping the port, we're not switching to USB-C just yet, we're not getting Touch ID, we're probably not gonna get this orange bronze color. A lot of those early rumors are not panning out, and the iPhone 14 in a lot of ways is looking a little bit more disappointing, at least if you put a whole lot of stock into those really early rumors. But putting a lot of that stuff to the side, if we look at sort of the whole of the rumor mill for the iPhone 14, more often than not, these rumors usually tend to be pretty spot on, so I'm pretty confident in saying that this is gonna be the design of the iPhone 14. It's probably gonna look very similar to the iPhone 13 and even the iPhone 12. It's gonna have a lightning port. The Pro phones are gonna have this new double hole punch system. It's gonna come in 4 different size options, or I guess not 4 size options, 4 options, 2 sizes. No doubt all that stuff is probably, most likely, 99% certain, locked in as of right now. But there's still this whole other part of the rumor mill that contains rumors that we still don't know if they're happening or not. Lots of last minute additions, subtractions, game-changing features. There's a lot of rumors that we just have no idea if they're actually going to happen or not, and we really won't know until Tim Cook or some other Apple executive gets up on stage and officially announces this phone in just a matter of weeks from right now. So what's exactly gonna change? Well, let's start from sort of the beginning here, the surface level, and talk iPhone 14 versus iPhone 14 Pro, because a lot of this Pro stuff is locked in and those phones are looking a little bit more exciting, especially compared to the regular 14, which is looking honestly kind of underwhelming. Though they'll share the same design, the Pro phones are supposed to have the always-on display. They're gonna have the new double hole punch system, some major camera upgrades, a better processor under the hood. Supposedly, lots of more exciting stuff is coming to the higher-end, more expensive iPhone, which I'll get to prices in a minute, not looking good. But for the regular 14, it's unclear what's really going to change because based off of the leaks, the 14 is gonna be really, really similar to the iPhone 13, which sort of begs the question, why would you buy the 14 over the 13 if you had the chance? I think this big question will be answered by whatever under the hood improvements Apple brings to the iPhone 14 this year. It's not uncommon for Apple to make smaller S-year improvements to their phones, and with the 14, maybe we see stuff that wasn't rumored or no hardware changes. Maybe we see some software additions to the camera. Maybe battery life is significantly improved. That's the big deal for the 14. Maybe we see some different camera technology. Obviously, the 48 megapixel main camera is reserved for the Pros, but maybe we get some other optic changes to some other system here on the back of the 14. We know the selfie camera on all phones is gonna get a bit of an upgrade this year, but we're not exactly sure what camera optics or hardware will change on the regular 14. Maybe Apple makes some slight changes, maybe they make no hardware changes, maybe they add something new with software. Unclear right now if the camera is gonna get any meaningful upgrade on the 14 and 14 Max. Speaking of cameras and Pro iPhones, another big question that we don't know is what resolution will the iPhone 14 record video at? Because we have heard from a couple of different analysts that the iPhone 14 Pro could shoot up to 8K video, not exactly sure on frame rates or specs, but 8K might be a possibility. But I could see this sort of going both ways. On one hand, the more resolution, the better. It could look really great. We've seen 8K across other different Android smartphones and flagships in the past, so it's not totally unprecedented. But on the other hand, maybe it makes more sense to sort of see Apple double down on their 4K to make that video as crisp, as clear, as best as possible. And 8K is sort of a stretch and doesn't make a whole lot of sense just to do it because it's technically possible. That's typically not how Apple operates, and it's sort of unclear right now if 8K is gonna make it as a final big feature for the Pro iPhones, or if it's just not in the cards this year. Now, before we continue with more of what the iPhone 14 will have and what it won't have, let me take a quick break, make you guys all a little hungry, and brag a little bit about some of the meals I've gotten to really enjoy over the last couple of days. I got to eat some delicious Tuscan shrimp and some perfectly grilled chicken, my favorite, so good, all of which were expertly crafted by the team of gourmet chefs at this video's sponsor, Factor. Now, if you haven't heard of Factor before, let me introduce you to the best way to get fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals that are delicious and ready to eat in 2 minutes, delivered right to your door. And I can tell you from personal experience, after thoroughly enjoying Factor meals, there's a lot here I want to highlight and a lot here I really appreciate. One, the food tastes really good, the food is delicious, and also I really appreciate that these meals are nutritionally crafted and also available in a ton of different options that are always being updated, including meals that are keto-friendly, calorie-smart, chef's choice, vegan and vegetarian options too. Factor just takes all the guesswork and hassle out of meal prepping, meal planning, going to the grocery store. These meals are delivered right to your door. They are fresh, they're ready to eat in 2 minutes, and again, they taste so good, and again, just so easy to make. They've got different meal plans that range from 4 to 18 meals, so you can sort of customize a plan that best fits your needs. And as my wife and I both enjoy the triumphs and challenges of our beautiful, lively 7-month-old daughter, I gotta tell you, it is so beyond nice not having to worry about cooking or what we're gonna eat. I can just have these Factor meals ready to go in 2 minutes. They're delicious, and I also really love that these meals help me stick to my nutritional goals. I'm just a huge fan of Factor. These meals are delicious. It's so convenient, so simple, so easy. I love it. I know you guys will love it as well. So if you wanna learn more and check it out for yourself today, hit the link right down below in the description, or head to go.factor75.com/tac130 and use code TAC130 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. Again, check out all the info down below. I'm a huge fan of Factor. You guys definitely wanna check it out for yourself today. So learn more by clicking that link right down below. The next piece to the very complex iPhone 14 puzzle is, of course, pricing. This is still TBD at the moment, and it's not looking good if you're looking to get a Pro phone, because Apple has been adjusting prices on different products. The MacBook Air got a bit of a price hike on the base entry-level model. Whether that's because of the redesign or not, we don't know. The iPhone SE got $29 more expensive this year, so price changes are not uncommon for Apple to do, but we haven't seen it come to the main iPhone line in quite some time. But this year, that is going to change. So what we know right now, at least according to rumors, is the iPhone 14 is safe. That phone should remain at a $799 starting price tag. Now, the Pro phones, on the other hand, is going to be a different story, because those phones, according now to multiple analysts, are going to see a $100 price increase across every model. So instead of getting a base model at $999, the iPhone 14 Pro is going to start at $1099 and then just sort of go up from there. So the Max version is going to be $1199, and then it's going to continue to go up depending on what storage configuration you go with. And to that end, we have heard some other analysts speculate that maybe Apple doubles the base storage from 128 to 256 on the Pros, and maybe that's how they justified this $100 price increase. That's also been disputed by other analysts, so we don't really know. Suffice it to say, a iPhone 14 Pro price increase does look likely as of right now. So if you're looking to buy a Pro-end iPhone, get ready to shell out at least $100 more to get your hands on the higher-end iPhone. Of course, the other big question here is gonna be the price of the iPhone 14 Max. This is the larger version of the regular lower-end iPhone. It's gonna have the bigger 6.7-inch screen, but it's not gonna have the Pro-end stuff. How much is that gonna be? Because I feel like a lot of this phone's success or failure is going to all hinge on the price. And right now, we don't know. Maybe Apple does a pretty good move and they mark it at $899, which would be $100 more than the 6.1-inch 14. That makes sense, and you're getting a bigger screen for $100 more. Or I wouldn't be surprised if they take this to $999, which sort of gets a little more complicated, because then you're sort of in the Pro category. I'd be curious, what do you guys think the iPhone 14 Max will be priced at? Let me know down below. And also, if Apple wants to set this phone up for success and not have another mini debacle on their hands, what price does the 14 Max have to be at to make it a successful phone and a good buy for consumers? Let me know your thoughts on the pricing controversy down below. One of the other questions I see in the comments all the time over and over again is colors. What colors could we see for the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro? It's a great question, and right now, we just don't know. One of the bigger questions always is what is gonna be the exclusive color for the Pro series phone? We've seen a beautiful green, we've seen deep blue, we've seen Pacific blue. What's the one this year? The baby blue. I'm not a fan of, well, I have it right here. This year's color, just gonna say it, not my favorite, but I bought it because I don't know why, but I'm curious to see what the special color is this year. And a couple of questions here. One is that there is a rumor right now that we could see a purple color, some sort of purple shade as the exclusive Pro color. We also had heard rumors before about some sort of orangey bronze color, some sort of copper color. Maybe that makes a return this year. We've also got some questions on the internals of these phones because we have heard rumors that all iPhone 14 models except the Pro Max will be getting physically larger batteries inside. So, well, two questions there. One, why won't the Pro Max get a bigger battery? Is it a limit of some sort? Why isn't Apple doing that? And also, how good is battery life going to be across all the phones? Is Apple gonna do it in the Pros just to sort of mitigate what is gonna be lost by the always on? Or are we going to see something more improved here, more substantially across the board? So battery life is gonna be interesting to see. Also, again, there is gonna be that difference in processor that the A15 is going to remain in the 14 and 14 Max, while the Pro phones will get the A16. What the difference is between those chips is, we just don't know. Probably not gonna be a reason to upgrade solely just for that. We still don't know final confirmation for things like RAM. We don't know what's gonna happen with the vapor chamber cooling system. The internals of these phones is still very much up for debate and still unclear. So final confirmation on battery life, RAM, storage sizes, will we see a 2 terabyte option? All that stuff is probably gonna remain largely a mystery until Apple finally officially releases that info themselves. And the last feature I wanna touch on, or two features here, is supposed to be a big one and one that was rumored to happen last year with the 13 line that didn't, but could come to the 14 and be a really big deal for any iPhone owner out there. And that is the satellite connectivity feature. This is the ability, supposedly, for you to be able to send a limited text or make a call using the emergency satellite system from basically anywhere in the world. When you don't have cell service, you could sort of fall back on the satellite network and then be able to contact loved ones, emergency rescue teams, whoever you need to in an emergency, from anywhere in the world, or most, hopefully anywhere in the world, thanks to the power of the satellite connectivity built in your iPhones. And also, according to the Wall Street Journal, Apple is testing a car crash detection mode specifically for new iPhone models as well. So if you got into a car accident, your iPhone could detect that. It'd be able to call for help, call loved ones, message people automatically, sort of maybe like a more advanced feature of the fall detection on the Apple Watch, just sort of building in more functionality to your iPhone to have that on your new phone. Again, just a rumor, not sure if those features are going to come to the 14 or going to be pushed back next year into the iPhone 15. So as always, I am curious for you guys to comment below, what are your thoughts on all this stuff? iPhone 14 last minute leaks. What do you think is gonna happen? What's not gonna happen? What's gonna make it to the cut this year for the 14 line? Will it be pushed next year to the 15? Are you excited for the 14? Do you think this is a worthy iPhone upgrade? Are you going to upgrade? And what model would you go with? If you are going to upgrade, and if you're not, why are you choosing not to upgrade this year? Is it because your iPhone's already good enough, or because this year is just looking super underwhelming? Let me know your thoughts down below. We can discuss all the last minute leaks coming to the iPhone 14. As always, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.